The bubble has finally burst for ministers and aides of the president who have 2023 ambition over whether or not they should resign their appointment before contesting elections. President Muhammadu Buhari has asked ministers aspiring to be president, governors, senators, and members of the House of Representatives in 2023 to resign, according to the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, who addressed newsmen after the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja, said they have between now and 16th of May to resign. Meanwhile, the Court of Appeals sitting in Abuja has set aside the judgment of the Federal High Court in Umuahia, Abia State, which voided provision of Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act 2022. The Appellate Court also held that the provisions is unconstitutional because it violates Section 42, subsection 1A of the Constitution and denies a class of citizens their right to participate in elections. But first, let's hear the minister.
My mandate from the President is that all members of the Federal Executive Council vying for office will have to resign their appointments on or before 16th of May 2022. If there's going to be any amendment or any inclusion, you will be informed in due course. Subsequently, it may affect other categories of political appointees, but that will be made known.
Here we go again. We've had several editions on this, talking about the morality. We're not even looking at the legal perspective now. Now, a court of appeal now has upturned what that Abia State Court did. Mm. If you remember, that judgment should enter the Guinness Book of Record. Mm. The day they filed it, the petition and everything, and within 10 days, before you see Jack Robinson, they made a pronouncement in Umuahia.
And the minister was saying that he was going to implement the order.
Okay, Jide, my producer is telling me that we should just do a flashback at what we said. That
my own concern is the judge. That court is not a final court. Mm-mm. If it was the Supreme Court, and we've had cases decided by Supreme Court that have not up till now, as we are speaking, have not been implemented. Now, that case, that judge, that court is not a final court. So why the indecent haste? Oh, because the thing affects you directly, you want to contest? So that's the issue.
Now, remain in office.
There are questions that people have asked. Who is the claimant in this matter? Who is the claimant? Because for the claimant to file this kind of action, it must be that the provisions of that act affect him
directly.
Yes.
That's a locus.
Otherwise, it will be meddlesome interloper, as the judges like to call them. We still do not know. You can't say, oh, this person is just an APC chieftain. You must define who he is. What is his relationship to the matter? Because that's how we can determine local standard. That was not done.
If you had gotten to the Court of Appeal, they might have seen this deficiency they are talking about.
Then, by our law, it is not the right, the Attorney General has not got the power to delete any portion of the law. The power to delete and make law rests with the National Assembly. So where a judge makes that kind of pronouncement, except if this case is not appealed, that's the only way that they can get away with some of these funny things that we have seen. And we've seen lawyers saying, look, judiciary should not ruin our country now.
my in-house Nostradamus actually said it, that this will not stand the test of time.
Yes, the guy who filed that action was not affected in any way by that, by the new law. So people will ask, so what's your interest? It's just, remember that case of Mama Taraba filing an action in respect of the primaries of the PDP.
Yes.
So you are not a member of PDP, you are an APC. You are saying their primaries
did not go well.
Yes. The primaries that produced Darius Dixon, that they went to Abuja to do primaries. What is your own business? If an act of injustice happened, you must prove that you are affected by that act of injustice. And if you are not a member of the party, you didn't take part in the primaries, you cannot be affected by that act of injustice. This is similar to what happened in the case of this Abia judgment. Because my argument at that time was, who is this person that they were hiding? Who is this person? Is he one of those working for the president? If it was one of them, then he could have said, okay, he filed it because he felt that law will affect him, will abridge his rights. But that was not what happened. You cannot build something on nothing. Once a case is improperly filed, once a court lacks jurisdiction to hear a matter, once somebody does not have the local standard to bring up a matter, whatever reliefs, whatever judgment that court gives, the appellate court will dismiss it, because you can't build something on nothing. And that's what we have seen. On the issue of whether there is merit in the matter, which was what the PDP wanted affirmed, the judge said, the appeal judges said, yes, there is a violation of section 42, subsection 1 of the Constitution. So as far as the judges were concerned, the rights of people to contest had been taken away, of a class of Nigerians to contest had been taken away. But I'm sure that this is not even the final, because this matter will still get to the Supreme Court, because the issue of even morality and the conflict of interest would have to be resolved. If you must let people remain in office right up to maybe election day, it has to be defined.